Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements this December, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.
Good evening, everybody. Can't even get the intro right on this show nowadays. Thank you and welcome. Welcome and thank you for joining me tonight. I don't know where you all are, but I'm sitting in a rainy, windy place. I am Jane Morton. I am a psychic medium, a psychic counsellor, a holistic therapist, and a Rahani teacher and practitioner, if anyone hasn't met me before. And I am back after 6-7 weeks break, I think. Feels like, well, the summer. I've had the summer off. It's like school holidays, and now I'm back, and it's all dark and horrible out there. So my show tonight is Psychic Counselling. It's all about you putting up some comments, asking me some questions, and seeing if I can answer them, and then maybe a little card reading if you're all very nice and share me. So should we have some hellos, Mr. Producer? Okay, and can I just remind people, please don't just keep saying, can I have a reading? Ask me a question, give a question, ask for advice. It could be spiritual, it could be anything. That is how you get your readings. Please just don't keep putting, can I have a reading, can I have a reading, because unfortunately it will be ignored. Not by me totally, because I'm only here talking to myself. I'm worked by Mr. Producer. He does all the technical stuff. So please do be mindful of that. And we stream from YouTube. That is our main platform. We are on Facebook as well. But please do go over if you want a little community chat with our lovely people on YouTube. Hello, lovely Terry Wall. Hello, Heather Green. Hello, Michaela, sorry. Hello, Erin O'Nudgett. That's because you're robot adverts. So I'm getting ticked off already. Hello, Mandy Johnson. Lovely. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Martin. Yeah, apparently I look like a robot. I was too busy trying to read it. That's the trouble with me. Hello, S. Nixon. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, LJ Blue Eyes. Hello, admins. Oh, charming. The admins have got more credibility than the host these days. Hello, what's it? Melinda from so somebody did this is from Ohio. So you obviously know Melinda. I struggle saying that, so you've done it, broke it down for me. Thank you very much. Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello, Heather Hannigan from Coventry in UK. What's it like up there? Hi, Judy Rampton. Let me know, people, where you're coming from, what your weather's like, what your day's been like. Hello, Presh Pandy. Hello, lovely Lisa Paris. Hi, Caroline May Sambrook. Hi, Jenny Bennett. Oh, I felt like someone walked over me then. Yeah. Hi, Loretta Rose. How are you? Hello to anyone we're missing. Hello, Cheryl from Leicester. Hello, Jonathan. It is awful out here, I can tell you. I feel like I'm going to be rocking in a minute. Hi, Amanda from Croydon. Oh, run out, Mr. P. Your credits aren't going up, see? Right, I'm at a freeze, I'm at a standstill. Hello, Valerie. You can imagine what I'm having sung in my ear, Valerie. Hi, Sarah from Saltburn, UK. Hello, Trish Woods from Kent. Okay, then. Shall we see if there's any questions pinging up yet, Mr. P? Oh, and can you let me know? Hi, Christine. Thank you for sharing. Don't forget to like and share, people. That'd be great. Our little SPTV family. Hi, Lynn. If Emily Danks comes on, can you look out for her, please, Mr. P? I've just got something I want to tell her. Yeah. Something I think I caught the tail end of something when I was doing the Sunday brunch, the brunch show the other day, and I just want to see if I caught that right because something came to me. So yeah, just let me know if she comes on. Hi, Heather. Right, how can we feel our loved ones in spirit are with us? Wow, Heather, we get asked this a lot, don't we? We don't get drunk. No, that's not that sort of spirit. Remember, people, spirit and spirit don't mix. We do get asked that a lot. I think most of us have been asked that quite a few times. It's simple. It's quite simple sensations that you do feel. You can. I mean, I've just said it. So I felt like someone walked over me. There's that old-fashioned saying where you feel like someone's just walked over your grave. I'm sure we can make it sound a little bit better than that these days. But that sensation that you go cold or tingly because you feel like someone has walked past you, that is one of the feelings. Usually if your body hair stands up on end, or you do drop in temperature suddenly. Some people can actually get hotter, feel quite hot and prickly around the neck. Your hair, this is a crazy one, your hair can stand up on end, like when it's static. And I don't mean because you've gone and touched something, like in the shop when you was a kid, you could run along the metal bit and your hair, everything you touch would give an electric shock. You can actually have your hair just stand up on end for no reason. You could be sat having a cup of tea, watching telly, and your hair could actually start to feel static. Obviously, the other signs, if you're out and about, the pennies, the feathers, seeing names or something of relevance to that loved one, numbers. Today, personally, I've been getting 222 a lot today. Double numbers, treble numbers, they're very powerful. Angel numbers are just powerful universal numbers in general. So there's lots of things. You could be sat in the traffic, and especially while you're queuing for petrol these days, and you could get a song come on the radio and it's relevant to that person, and it make you stop what you're doing and think. So there's so many different things, and they are quite what I call very simple, basic things that we all overlook. If you're indoors, some people do find things either fall down or they look like they've been moved. Cupboard doors banging, back doors, front doors, you could hear a slam. Again, people might say it's wind or something like that. But you can get a general sensation from somebody if you feel someone's with you. And of course, good old-fashioned gut instinct, which is obviously how us psychics work. Your gut is the key to warning you of anything, whether it's good or bad. And that is, if you get that feeling in your stomach, that like when you meet someone new, you get that flip sensation when you like them. Any sort of feeling in your stomach is a definite sort of sign that something that you're picking up is true to you. So many different things. So I hope that sort of helps that, Heather. Shall we pick you a little card? I feel out of practice. I do feel a little bit out of practice. I've got to warm up a bit and be less robotic, Mr. P said. That was earlier. I said it again. I've got conflict and defeat, number 5, Mr. P. Okay. Well, maybe she's trying to tap away. So tappy, tappy. Let us know if you're still here, Heather, and I'll read this off. For some reason, I want to draw stairs. Something's making me draw. Just picked my pen up, which wasn't actually for this show. If you're still here, Heather, let us know, because obviously, the stairs on there. That makes sense. So that card, I've just started drawing lines right down like I'm going downstairs. Then I looked and realised that card's got stairs in it. Straight away, I'm getting a sinking feeling with you. I feel like I'm something's pulling me down when it should be bringing me. I should be coming back up. Clearly, there's a situation around you, and I am going to say some kind of passing actually with you that he's taking you downwards. And really, as much as we all, you know, it's terrible when we lose someone, the grief and how we have to cope and react, but we have to try and get ourselves back up in the living. She is here, Mr. P. Have faith with your viewers. Thank you, Heather. I just feel at the moment, you know, as hard as it is, we've got to stay focused on our day-to-day. Our loved ones do not want us to, you know, they don't want us to grieve them. They don't want us to be sad. They want us to continue with our lives. You know, it was their time. It's not our time if we're still here. And I just feel at the moment, I want to encourage you to go back up. It's weird because if you look at that card on screen, there's obviously he's going one way. It's like the others are rushing up the other way. Sometimes it looks like he's going down to Lion's Den. But I just feel with you, I'm also getting quite a lot of interference around the back of my head. I feel like there's a lot of strain around you at the moment. It is like a stress-related tension thing I'm feeling around you. So I don't know if you've been suffering with your head, but I'm feeling like I'm not relaxed. I feel quite tense, and I'm thinking when you're at bed, when you're resting, when you should be sleeping, you're not. It's like your head's just literally going round and round at the moment. So let us know if that makes sense, Heather. But try and turn that back round and get back up those stairs. I mean, they're not real stairs unless you're living in a bungalow. You've got to find some. This is where you're starting to go lower and lower. You need to try and pull that back for the other people around you. So let us know if that makes sense, Heather. And much love to you. And just keep an eye on that head, because I'm feeling that's quite heavy. I feel like someone's just actually hit me around the back of my head. It's quite thick tension. Okay then. What we got? Nothing. We got nothing. No response. No, I meant, but we got any people? We got any people watching me? We got people watching me. They're probably thinking, oh God, not her again. She's had 6 weeks off. She was on 3 times last week. I'll be on 3 times this week. Such a beautiful day in Ottawa, Canada. Ontario, Canada. Carrie Ann. Oh, lovely. I love Canada. Went to Vancouver many years ago. Top of the morning to you and all, Wendy from Australia. New here, happy to be here. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for joining us. Is this new to SPTV? That's great. Hi, Sophie. Thank you for joining us. Oh, quick hi to Natalie Bentley. Hello. And then apparently for those of you that haven't followed or liked us yet, please do, because we are only 4 away from 12,000 followers. What an achievement. So please do, if you're watching now and you're new, those that just told me you're new, like and follow SPTV. And I'll take it, where's that, Mr. P? On Facebook? On Facebook, yeah, because that's where we first streamed from, and then we moved to YouTube. Hi, Jennifer from Nottingham. A mixture of rain and sunshine today. Oh, we've had no sunshine here, Jennifer. Hello, Lisa from South Wales. Lovely. My nan used to come from South Wales. Oh, very wet Coventry from Jonathan. Yes, I can imagine. It's just so grim out there. Hi, Holly. Do you want me to do that one? Hi, Amy White. How do you know it's a loved one and not just your gut? Hang on, right. How do you know it's a loved one and not your gut just picking up information from the person you are given a reading to? Okay. So how do I know it's your loved one and not my gut from picking up information from the person you're giving a reading to? Wow. How can I explain that? I work mainly as a psychic. I don't push my mediumship. I've said it many a time before. 21 knows me. I can't hold mediumship long enough, so I certainly wouldn't do a mediumship show on here, and I wouldn't do platform medium. So when I have someone sit with me, when I have someone that comes to me for a sit-in, They come generally for a tarot reading or tea leaf reading, or that's thrown in as well, or a psychic counselling session, which is slightly different anyway. It's a little bit more intense. And in that time, I obviously at times have brought in spirit, someone's loved one. So I've often questioned, am I doing that? Is spirit doing that? Or is this, even in psychic work, is spirit coming through and giving me that information anyway, whether I'm working with tarot cards or anything else that I use? So for me, I think I just trust what's going on around me and what I do. My gut is the instinct I may get when I'm reading psychically, but when I work psychically, I am not working how I would work 24/7 in my normal day-to-day. I switch off in my personal stuff. I switch off when I do my daytime job that I've got alongside it. It is, I am then me, Jane Morton. I am not psychic or tarot reader or anything like that. I'm just me. When I'm reading, I take it very seriously. I work directly for that person. I prepare myself for that person. So I'd like to think everything I'm getting from those cards or that person, I am getting from them. It is not my gut, because I don't understand most of the information that's coming out anyway. So it can't be me that wants to hear that, because obviously I don't understand that. So when I'm reading, I'm using my psychic abilities, which is my senses mainly. It's my hearing, my sight. If I see spirit, it's hearing. If I can hear someone talking, I can smell. Very often I can taste, so I can taste something if I'm brought someone forward, or I'm getting someone in the cards say that may have some stuff going on and there's a relevant taste to that. I can do that. So I am using all my psychic abilities, which does affect my senses. My intuition doesn't actually come from my gut. My intuition comes from my third eye. So when I say to people use their gut instinct, that's when you're having that, I've said it before, that fight or flight. If you go somewhere and you don't feel safe, your gut's telling you don't feel safe, to turn around and go back. In general, everyone works from their gut instinct. When I'm working from my psychic abilities, but your gut instinct is the first thing that you should learn to understand if you wanted to move on and become work psychically or work in the spiritual sort of way. So I hope that sort of makes sense to you, Amy. Should we pull Amy a card, Mr. P? But yeah, I hope that does make sense. So if I break it down, I'm not working from my gut. When I'm working, I'm using my psychic abilities, or if spirit comes in, I am given that information via spirit while I'm working. So it wouldn't be from my gut, because there's no reason for my gut to give me that sort of feeling for that person, especially if I've never met them before. Amy, I've got for you mental conflict number 2, Mr. P. Yeah, number 2. Okay, so mental conflict. I think in line with the question you've asked me, although you're asking me about how do you know I'm gut and when I'm reading for somebody, I think there's an issue. It's not the right way to say it, Mr. P. That I'm picking up there's something you're debating in yourself. The mental conflict always makes me with the two heads. How you've got that outside person, but there's an inside person always either got, it's a bit like Jekyll and Hyde. There's someone there trying to come out and disrupt, or there's someone there that wants to know more but is actually hiding away. So I do feel, I don't know if you are quite new to anything spiritual, or whether that you're quite new to coming on to SPTV or any other spiritual thing. But I'm just getting a sense at the moment you're sort of dabbing, you're testing the waters a bit. You're just trying to work out where you sit with it and try and understand anything you're getting, because it's weird. When I look at that and I think of you, I get a sensation that you've been having some experiences, but you don't really understand them and you're not quite sure what to do or trust them. And I also think there's as a person around you that you're second guessing some of what's going on with you as well. I feel that you're trying to work too much out, is actually what I'm getting told in my head. You're trying to second guess too much and overthink it. Whoever this person is around you, I feel like I want to say you need to sort of take a step back and try and work from there. And that's where you would use your gut, on how comfortable you feel in that situation. But I also feel that there's a lot of growth for you if you are dabbling and stepping out in anything spiritual. And I've said this before to people, when you are watching these shows, or you go and get oracle cards or tarot cards and you do anything like that at home, that is fine. Not everyone has to then go, oh, I better be a reader, or I better be a medium, or I better, go and do some healing. That isn't what you have to do. As long as you're enjoying learning about things and you've got an interest in it and you enjoy using your cards or anything like that, that is perfectly fine. Not everyone's meant to go out and work to do it, as long as you're getting enjoyment from it. So, or even if you read for your friends. But I just feel at the moment you're trying to work out what's going on. I just feel you've seen some stuff. So let me know, Amy. But anyway, I hope that makes a little bit of sense, because it doesn't to my gut. So here we got the rain stopped, so that's one thing, because I was a bit pixelated earlier on. Why am I still pixelated? But I'm not pixelated no more. What we got? Emily Dank's not on yet. All right then. Hello, Tracy, my lovely school friend. Hi, Wendy from New York. Oh, I love New York. From Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada. Hi, Karen. That's a mouthful, isn't it, when you put it on your mouth? Hi, Tango Lima. Hi, Amanda. I'm new. Okay, lovely. Well, don't forget then, newbies, like and share. We need those 4 votes. Big hugs from Arkansas. Is that what I'm saying that right? Arkansas. Oh, I'm terrible with pronunciations, people. Hi, Moira from Scotland. Hello, Valerie. What we've done, Valerie. I think you're finding. Is this that bad? You've got to find extra people to keep them making it look like I've got loads of hellos. Hi, Claire Colbeck. Hi, Jane. Have you studied to be a counsellor? ? Okay, Claire. Actually, you would have enjoyed our Sunday brunch show yesterday. I was a guest on there, and we talked about counselling and various different things. I am not a conventional counsellor. I studied to be a conventional counsellor back about 26 years ago. Actually, thinking about that was when it was mocked in this country. It was a very American thing. A lot of people didn't understand it and wouldn't accept it. And ironically, now we haven't got enough counsellors out there, especially on the NHS. I came away after my counselling skills year. I went into the diploma, but I had some personal stuff, so I decided to step away and put my children first. So many years later, after doing lots of different things and working as a manager in the university and various other academic roles, I ended up coming on my spiritual path. I also became a holistic therapist. So everything I've done holistically, I have studied for and have qualifications for. So I am a psychic counsellor with a diploma. It is recognised under the CDM. It is holistic therapy. It works in the same way as counselling, so you still learn how certain ways how you address things. It's more relaxed than counselling because obviously I don't have to sit and be mindful of my body language. But I also learn about the mind psychically and how psychic abilities work. And because I wanted to understand my psychic abilities, because I'd studied, I'd suppressed them for so many years from a young age, I wanted to understand how I could do the things I could do. And that's why I trained in it. So yes, I am a qualified psychic counsellor. I am not a conventional counsellor. So I hope that helps, Claire. Yeah, and that's why it says psychic counsellor. I mean, I could call myself a spiritual counsellor. I could call myself a lot of things, actually. But the psychic counsellor is what's on my diploma certificate. That is the title it comes with. So that's why we decided to use that title on here. So I hope that helps. Well, thank you for sharing, Jane. I would so love to do something like this. Thank you, Claire. It's what suits different people. Conventional is still great, and I was, like I said on the brunch show, I wouldn't stop anyone using conventional medicine, going, medical doctors, seeking advice, seeking any sort of help. It's it works well together. Holistic works well with conventional. A lot of holistic therapies now are being recognised, and the NHS are using them. But it's what sits with you. Some people like the academic route. Like I said, I worked in university for over 20 years, so I know how the academic route works. But I am now your fluffy holistic therapist under the complementary medicine. Yeah. Yesterday we got quite a lot of requests on some of the stuff I was talking about, and we've decided we probably will do some. Well, we're definitely going to do a particular show, but we will do a one-off show on psychic counselling if anyone's interested. I can do a Zoom one if anyone wants to come and join and ask questions and talk about it, Claire. So if you would like to do something like that, I'm more than happy to set up the Zoom meeting and we can discuss further if anyone wants to join. So hope that helps. Cheryl, do psychic counsellors deal with the same issues as conventional counsellors? Yes. It's a very weird one, Cheryl. If you went back into the history of tarot readers, because tarot cards have been around a long time, because that was almost accepted more, because you wouldn't tell anyone you was a medium back then. They were actually in Egyptian time, in Roman times, and I'm just trying to think where I've read else, but psychics were used as counsellors. Basically, that's what we were years ago. We were used as counsellors. The kings and the queens and the emperors and all that would bring in psychics to tell them basically their fate and what to do. If we got it wrong, we were probably beheaded, slaughtered, or whatever else, because unfortunately that's pretty much how it worked in them days. But that is how psychics were used centuries and centuries ago. Obviously, it went through different phases and different stages, and people then obviously, either feared them or mocked them, and so on and so on. But even psychics, when they're doing readings, it is still a form of counselling. And that is why I go down the psychic counselling route more. And when I work with people, if I'm using psychic counselling, it is done more on that route, because we should be mindful of how we're addressing people, how we deliver our readings, and how that information is given out. Even on these shows, we've got to be mindful that who else is watching. So if it gets very personal, even if that person feels they want more in depth, I will retreat, because I'm mindful that that might be at the time, but there's too many people watching. It will keep being watched if people keep going back on YouTube, and that person may regret having such personal information given out. So it is like counselling. We are confidential. We must remain confidential. Nothing's discussed. We follow up. I follow up in my psychic counselling. I write a report for them. We follow up things. We discuss ways to move forward. It is a way of moving forward in life if you've got blockages. So I hope that sort of makes sense. So no, I might not have the same initials after my name. Well, I don't use the initials anyway, but the same initials on my certificate as a conventional counsellor was. But like I said, when I first did that first year in counselling all those years ago, it wasn't even properly recognised in this country. It was mocked. So even if I'd got my diploma then in that, it wasn't one that people wanted to acknowledge, because they found it uncomfortable. Personal responsibility is very important. It is. So anyone that's coming needs to remember that. But unfortunately, sometimes people are in such bad places they can't always remember their own personal responsibility. So it's still on the onus of the person that's sitting there, whether you're reading, whether you're doing a mediumship, anything like that. You must still be mindful of that person, in front of you, and how they may react. I hope that helps. Chantal Mendham, why, when on a spiritual journey, can you begin to feel bouts of depression, exhaustion, overwhelmed? I feel this on mine, like I don't know what way to go. I feel it's a test, Chantal. I truly do. Also, remember, you are opening up to quite a powerful, it's big. It's a big, powerful energy force when you're opening up to that. So exhaustion is totally common. Even now, we can have bouts of exhaustion working. If we overwork and we don't take time out for ourselves, we will become exhausted. So exhaustion is very common. This is exhausting work. I think people think we just, do it and it's not a big deal. Some people still think we make it up. It's not. It's quite exhausting. We are using a lot of our well, we're using our abilities, and we're using all our cognitive stuff, and we're using our brain, believe it or not. So we are using a lot of energy ourselves. So it would be exhausting. You will be overwhelmed, because some of the experiences that you will learn along the way are amazing, but there are times you will question it, you will be cynical of it, and you will judge yourself, and that's where you become overwhelmed. And it is a very overwhelming sort of scenario when you're on that journey. Depression, I don't know if that comes, and obviously again this is just my opinion, because I've not got the depression side, but I have had the exhaustion and I have been overwhelmed with it. I think the depression maybe can be something that maybe there's an area of anxiety there before you went on this journey, because most of us have been through some sort of trauma, and when we open up to this, maybe that depression isn't so much depression, but you pick up on everything. You're saying there that you're a medium, and thinking I'm an empath too, so that straight away explains what I was just about to say. If you are empathic, I'm empathic. That's why I work as a Rouhani teacher and a practitioner. When you're healing, you know, you're literally touching people's bodies. If you're working one-to-one, even if you're sending it for long distance, you still pick up those energies. If you were watching earlier on, I was picking up someone's tension in their head. You will get that. So depression could be coming in. It's not depression, it's how you're feeling, because you're picking up the energies around people that you have been around. And that could be your household. That could be when you're out and about doing any shopping or doing anything general, because you've opened yourself up, you know, and you start opening up. And so it's a little bit like you're getting bigger and bigger when you start this journey. Then you are going to start collecting more energy, and that will feel quite heavy and laden down for the time being. So it may not be the word to use, depression, but I sort of get where you're coming from with that. It is just trying to manage your abilities. You say it's why you pull away from readings. But again, I mean, I'd be lying if I do pull away. One of the reasons I haven't been on this show for probably about 6 weeks is because I'd had several deaths around me, and it was quite hard to concentrate. They were family, they were close friends. Some were my clients, related to my clients. It was very hard. I'm not inhumane. If a client is upset, especially my regular clients, it's going to affect me. Life in general was quite busy. I just needed some time out. So you can pull away, and that's fine. But at the same time, if you go on this journey and want to do it, and we do a lot of help, we're not, it's not entertainment. We're not here to be made fun of. There are a lot of things we do that help people. When you've got yourself in a better place, when you look after yourself better, you will feel that will, like a release, because you'll start managing yourself better, and you'll know when to have rest periods. And the beauty of working self-employed is you pick when you see your clients, and don't I'm not going to say greedy, and people work differently, but you don't need to cram loads of people in a day. If you feel that one a day is enough, then only see one person a day. If you only want to do one a week, do one a week. It is about how you feel. And I don't even get my business half the time from Facebook, because I'm useless on it. Mine is word of mouth, and that works for me. I'm not interested in having my name out there. So I hope that helps you, Chantal. Should we do a card, Mr. P? Yeah, if you want. I think he's off having a little snooze. The waiting game I've got for Chantal, number 2. Great card, Chantal. You say you've been working as a medium. So you did actually use the word medium, not psychics, where I always use the word psychic, not a medium. Mediumship takes more energy. Why do you think I don't do it all the time? It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of work into it. There's a lot of connection going on. You don't just go, just pop up and do a reading and someone's bound to come. If you truly want to connect and do right by your sitter, it takes a lot of commitment. And that's why mediums, especially the ones we got on this show and anyone you've seen on telly, they get better and better because they practice and practice, and they keep working at it. And if they're working constantly as a medium, of course they're going to get better. Not because they're getting better in like when we're doing a job and we get better so much in that way, because they are truly putting the commitment into it. And the more commitment you put in, the stronger the connection is to spirit. But the waiting game for me, I love that time glass. I've actually got one of them in my house because I always like things like that. You've got the roots down the bottom. You've got the tree coming out the top. It's just showing you your roots are planted. it's your choice when you want to work it. It's your choice when you decide to be around people. Something's probably, I'm feeling, has rocked you a little bit. It's not just all the exhaustion and what you've said you feel. I think something else has happened, and there may be a personal issue going on, because I am getting a sense of someone walking away, and it's not you. I feel that somebody else has been walking away, and I feel like we're going round and round in circles in this situation. So when our personal life is not good as well, that will affect how we work if we don't get on top of it. So I'd say take it slowly if that's what you want to do, but don't pull away from it, because that's quite strong words. If you truly are not enjoying the connections you get, then fine. But if you've got that connection and it's strong, and you can do good for others as well as yourself, just find a way how you can break yourself back into it gently. And that waiting game to me is about, it's your pace, it's not anybody else's. So I hope that makes sense to you, Chantel. Al J Blue Eyes, what is an empath? Good question. An empathic is the word everyone uses. An empathic means you are somebody that deeply feels, Mr. P's probably Googling it as we speak, he's got a dictionary out and looking it up, but it's somebody that deeply feels or connects to a situation. So if someone's crying in front of you, you will feel that, you will actually feel that sadness, and it's the total opposite to a narcissist, basically, where a narcissist almost causes that pain or enjoys seeing other people hurt, or that and shows no feeling. An empath pretty much just opens up the floodgates, and you can cry at the slightest thing, you can laugh at the slightest thing. A complete stranger can walk past you and you suddenly feel some kind of pain or some kind of tearfulness. It's literally, you're walking around like a sponge, soaking in everyone's emotion, and that's where the empath comes from. And when you work, some people will literally just work as an empath. That takes a lot of control, because what you don't want to do is be sucked up by everyone's negative energy. So I hope that makes sense, LJ. Chantal said, yes, my little girl is autistic and I feel so stuck trying to get help. She's only 4, feels like a circle we can't get out of. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So, 4 years old, I've got grandchildren now, 7 and 12. So I'm showing my age because mine are grown up. But 4 years old, that's a lot of, you've still got a lot to give to that child. That child needs a lot of your attention. There's, especially if they're suffering from, well, not suffering, they're autistic. They are also I find very gifted and bright spiritual people. I find it quite, I used to work with adults with learning difficulties, autistic adults, and I think we underestimate, even with dementia people, what is going on in their brain. So again, you're picking up the frustrations maybe sometimes of her, because also you're a mum, but you're picking that up. But be kind to yourself, enjoy your family. 4 is very young, you've got lots to enjoy still, and work when you can, when it suits you. When you say you're in a circle you can't get out of, maybe one day when you've got a bit more free time, you'll be in a circle, just having some free time to understand your mediumship a bit more and know how to deal with the empathic side. But I would say to you at the moment, enjoy your daughter, enjoy being a young mum, and use the mediumship and everything else as a stopgap when you've got that time. She's so spiritual, such an empath. Yeah, I definitely agree. I find it quite fascinating. We were talking about that yesterday as well, what with Mr. P. I find anything that's going on in the brain anyway, how people don't always connect and people think are the norm. Who says they're not the norm? Maybe we're not the norm, because we can be so isolated and cut off. I find it very fascinating. She'll grow if you enjoy your mediumship and your journey. She will grow with you, and that would be quite an amazing journey for the pair of you. So remember that, Chantal. That's something to look forward to. Hi, Natasha. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Vicky. Jolly. Oh, I like the little emojis. Hi, Tar Angels. Hello, Ellie. Hi, Joy. You're new. Thank you for joining us, new Joy. Hello, Diane. Hello, Donna. Hi, Izzy Ryan. I'm late. Oh, you're not that late. You probably just missed me rambling, Izzy. Hi, Meredith. Okay, yeah. Hi, Andrea. Hi. Another one from New York. Hi, Kathy Garcia. You're not related to Andy, are you? Yeah, I bet she does. Do you hear messages your... That's Jade, and she's saying, do you hear messages your voice? Is that... I haven't got anything missing, have I? Because I'm sorry. Messages in your voice, through a voice. So Jade, if I quickly say, I think I was 5. My mum's confirmed I was 5 when I first see spirit. My mum thought it was my imaginary friend in the garden. He was a man in the First World War, so a bit worrying that I chose that. But anyway, I used to see spirit as clear as I would see a human being in front of me. And as I grew up and had that sort of my imagination was too much, that parted its ways. So then I used to hear people calling me. I would often be in different places, and sometimes sitting in the cinema when it's all pitch black, and someone would call me. You know, I've woken up to people calling me. And then I used to get smells. I think in my late 20s, I used to smell things quite strongly. I would smell all sorts of strange and not such pleasant things, actually, which was obviously relevant to any spirit that was around me. But I was just so overwhelmed with it all and didn't really have anyone to talk to it about. Now I smell, hear, and feel. I can actually feel them around me quicker than I would see them. If I see them, I tend to see them as if I can explain, like a picture. When you're watching a silly film, you've got the white thing, the pull down thing, and someone plays a silly film. That's how I see them. They sort of show themselves in my head as a silly film. So I can sort of see them that way. So again, when you're trying to deal with it, you can sometimes think you're imagining that someone's playing tricks with you. But there are occasions now they do move from side to side to me, so I'm starting to pick up the seeing them again as well. But I think I had a couple of quite close losses a few years back, and I sort of really did shut down. I didn't really want to do that at all because it was personal to me. When I lost people, I didn't, like with the previous lady, I found it was struggle because I just didn't. You'd think I'd want to see my dad and my best friend, but actually I struggled to see them because I struggled that they'd gone. So yeah, it's all different. So earlier on today, I had a woman come in. She came in this is a spirit, by the way, not someone coming to my house. She came in with a message for somebody that I know is a viewer on here. But it's weird because I've got the sensation she may not be related to this person. She's just brought the message forward. So I don't know why she was chosen. I don't know why I've got this message. So it is weird how we get these things. And like I said, I try not to do my mediumship, but they're just not letting me go now. Once you open up, it's a little bit like you can't really shut the doors. You've opened them, you can't shut them again. So I hope that makes sense, Jade. Got anyone else with to pee? Okie doke. Oh, and if anyone else is watching, they wonder. Sometimes I draw things now as well, which is quite weird. But not lovely artistic drawings like the lovely. It's Angela, isn't it? You've had on. Yeah, I don't draw like that, but I will draw very random things because they're showing me something. So there you go. Hello, Sheila. Thank you for watching. You're new watching. Oh, lovely, Sheila. Do you want to like and share us? That's SPTV, not me personally. Hi, Victoria. With my name as your middle name. Lovely. Evening to Christine. Christiane. And another newbie. Hi, Beverly, with a cute little doggy. Moving forward. Hi, do I know if I'm going in the right direction? I thought it was going to say moving forward because I've gone on too much with the last question. Sorry, Kathy. But moving forward, okay, even the viewers are telling me to move on now. How do I know if I'm going in the right direction? Well, let's pick you a card, Kathy. Let's pick you a card and see what the card will tell you. Yeah. Yeah. Please remember, everyone, especially my lovely newbies, if you're new to me or new to SPTV or both, Please, please, please. This show tonight is guidance. So it's about asking questions. It's about asking spiritual questions, which we've had a couple of great ones already. But if you just go, can I have a card? Can I have a reading? We're not going to do it. And it's not because we don't care, because we do. It's just because there's so many other shows that you can ask that for. There's so many Zoom chats you can go into. You can become a member at SPTV, a member of our, what we call it, VIPs and stuff now, don't we? Yeah. And then you get you can have private meetings. You can go into learning groups, workshops, or once you've joined up, that's all part of your membership. So please, if you want a reading, do that. But this show is specifically for advice or guidance or just questions on spiritual stuff. But Kathy, you got number 2, movement, choices and decisions. You couldn't make it up, could you, really? And I didn't. Just so you all know, I'm not, because I've got time to go through them. There's a lot of cards in this pack. So there. But yeah, Kathy, how good was that? See, that's how good a psychic I am. That's how good my abilities are. Movement, choices and decisions. That card always shows marriage, finances and new beginnings, growth. Oh, sorry, just got something screaming in my ear. No, it wasn't. It's something, I'm getting interference in my ear, and it's not from you. It's from somewhere. It's from the old spirit world, probably. It's about making new beginnings, new growth, babies, families, marriage decisions, financial decisions, career. It's just about covers everything. It's that's what it says. And you've asked, moving forward, how do I know if I'm going in the right direction? I got a massive screaming in my ear when I said about growth and babies. I'm also getting I feel like all my chakras, which is how the colours are coming out in that card, are literally being pulled through my body. I feel like I want to shake you up and down, tip you upside down, and then start you all over again. At the moment, I feel that you've got too many things going on to even make a decision if you're going in the right direction. I am getting a massive pull to I want to go around sort of a career and a personal issue. That's the two things I'm being pulled to the most. This in my ear, I don't know if you're having either difficulty with your ear or whether you're not listening to what someone's saying to you. This is quite uncomfortable. This is quite painful. I feel like someone really high-pitched screeched in my ear. And I feel that it's like someone's telling you something and you're not listening to them. And I feel that you're purposely ignoring them because you don't like the answer you're getting. So let me know if that's making sense to you. For you at the moment, I would want to say, I want to pull you back, take a step back, deep breath, and lay all your cards on the table. Obviously not mine, as I said, it's a big pack. And actually work out what it is you want. Because moving forward, I don't think you're moving forward for yourself. You're moving forward for somebody else. So let me know if that's making sense to you. But what an apt card. What an apt card. And if someone is trying to give you advice, and I mean advice, I don't mean telling you what they would do. I mean advice. We can all go, oh, that's what I'm doing. Kathy, okay. Right. That is quite interesting then. So obviously I'm picking up that. So with all respect, because I can imagine if you're wearing hearing aids, that's probably because I know with my auntie, she can sometimes get a lot of interference in her ears. So that's obviously what I was picking up. So how do you, are you lip reading me? That's what I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind me asking you that, because that's quite a challenge then, isn't it, on this show? And the caption, yeah, okay, and captions on screen, yeah. So am I right then, after picking up your hearing, am I right in the fact that you're not, and when I say not listening, because there's still ways you listen, you've obviously adapted to that, that's just a figure of speech, as you know. Are you feeling that someone is pressurizing you into doing something and you're not listening because you actually feel backed up into a corner? High pitched sound a lot, you get that a lot. Okay, yeah, it's actually, I can't put both of these in because if I do, Mr. P is way too loud in my ear and I don't like listening to him. Love him. But I actually am struggling now with that ear. It's quite and this goes back to the empath thing. When you are empathic, you will pick up so much. Now, Kathy, you're in New York. I am correct, Mr. P. Now that's where Kathy's living. Yeah. So there you are in New York, and we all know how far that is away. And I'm already picking up the interference in your ears. So that's how amazing being not always being an empath can be. I have picked up this horrendous sound in my ears, and it was quite deafening actually. So yeah, Kathy, let us know though if the situation that I described makes sense to you, and much love to you, Kathy. Go and get them sorted out if they're not working. Go and see if someone can do something better for you. I feel that's what I want to say to you, because I want to go like this now. I want to bless you. That must be quite irritating. Mr. P, you still there? All right. I meant I can't have you in duplicate if I put this in stereo. Yeah, stereo. Sorry. See, look, I'll do that. It makes me jump out my skin. And I don't want to put them big things on because I just look like I'm doing the commentating for football. Hi, Catherine. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I'm loving your face packs. Hi, Shell. Hello, you. Who have we got here? Someone's just... Alison Let. Do you see any bad spirits in my house, and will I be staying here or moving? Do you see any bad spirits in your house, Alison? It's a fascinating thing, spirits in the house. Not the type we drink, as we said earlier. To pick up spirits in your house, and this isn't me having a cop out, I would have to strongly be in your house to feel any negative vibe. And I'm going to call it negative. I don't do bad and evil. They're a little bit strong for me. I'm not watching Omen or anything like that. I call it negative, and we can actually encourage that negative energy around a home. If there's a situation in our house, if we move into a house that didn't have a happy home, family in it before, anything like that, that energy can hang around. That's why a lot of our spiritual people will go and cleanse our properties and stuff like that. You're saying you haven't felt it, but your kids have. Okay. So that could all be hanging around. If we've got situations going on in our own family life, our personal lives, that can then aggravate it. Now, there's a lot of beliefs, and obviously if you're talking to spirit, we've got to accept that when we're talking to spirit, there's all sorts, there's lots of spirits. There's lots of, belief in what the spirits are. A lot of people believe in portals around the home. So you could have energy portals where there's certain openings where spirit can come in and out. But because I'm quite a positive person and I always try and stay upbeat and positive, I always try and see the good in everything. So I won't allow in myself to see anything negative. That said, I have been to people's homes. People have asked me to go to their homes and look at or listen out. Even one of my own friends who worked spiritually herself had a very active home for many years until she moved. And we would sit there and hear banging and crashing and furniture dragging around. So I never dismiss what people feel they have, because I've heard it with my own ears. And I've been, when I've been there, I've felt the energy drop, and I have felt the temperature drop quite dramatically. But remember, even with a good spirit, as I call them, even if a loved one come in, the temperature does drop. They don't, they don't just drop because something evil came in or negative. They drop because spirit came in. We've obviously done paranormals on SPTV when we used to be live in the studio. I've done one myself. So we are more than aware there's activity in a house. Kids, as I said earlier, kids are very they're so innocent, they're so open to everything, so they're much more, they're listening stuff. Like I said, I was 5 myself when I first see spirit. So if your kids are feeling stuff, that is quite common, because kids will notice and feel different things, where as adults we're too busy in our material world to notice anything. And even when we're getting told, it's a bit like the old ET film when they try to hide him from mum. When mum first see ET, she couldn't quite take in what she was seeing. Adults tend to dismiss a lot of stuff because that's what adults do. So I'm not going to dismiss you've got something there. I can't say sitting here that you have, because I'd physically have to feel that energy myself. If it's making you feel uncomfortable, you can cleanse it yourself. You don't need to go get a priest. If you think there's anything that's going on that could be aggravating the energy, again, you could look at how you could cleanse the house and try and calm down the house. If you've moved in and have felt, I mean, if you're saying you've not felt it and it is the kids, then just check. If you've got teenagers, so I've just got teenagers in my area, there's some of them teenagers. I've just been told to check they haven't done something. You know how they like to dabble most with your Ouija board? I'm just getting a sensation someone may have done something. And again, they've all got access now to the internet a little bit too much, so they can all watch stuff that maybe isn't appropriate for them, and then their minds can race away. But if you're not feeling it, Alison, I am getting something going straight down something down the side of someone's head. I feel like the left side of someone's face is not something's not quite right. I'm just going to see what that is. I don't feel or sense anything. Kids are moved out. So kids have moved out, but they felt it as kids or as adults, because something's telling me that once at a teenage level, someone was doing something they shouldn't have done, and it scared them, and that's what's sticking in their head. And it's actually funny because it's taken me back to a memory that I remember once myself on a very cold, wet, windy night with thunderstorms. So just ask one of your kids if they've done, and anyone says they haven't, let's all hold our hands up. We've all been in some kind of seance or Ouija board at some point. Well, most of us have, which we shouldn't have been dabbling in. Because I will say that I do believe seances and a Ouija board should only be used by very, very confident mediums. And no one should dabble with that if they don't know what they're doing, because I do feel you are able to bring in a negative energy if you do not know what you're doing. I'd like to think my life's very fluffy, and I go around with only fluffy, as teenagers. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. When they were teenagers, they did something. So let me know, Alison. But I'm just going to pull you a quick card, see what I'll get from that. But physically, I'd have to feel that, because you can sense that. I can walk into most buildings and sense straight away when I don't feel comfortable or if there's something there. And on the whole, I don't really care if there's something there because it doesn't bother me. But I can tell if someone's... Right, I've got throat chakra for you, which is number 5, Mr. P. This is usually about speaking your truth, but I straight away feel that someone needs to be a little bit more. I feel like I want to regurgitate. That's interesting. My son's seen a tall black thing with red eyes. What's interesting? No. Tell me what that was. Sorry. Tell me, because actually I did have a little bit of I felt I was being pulled back to somebody then. Tell me what I said. Did I? That is worrying. Alison, I would say try not to, if you're not feeling anything, because you don't want to be worrying yourself over it. If you're not feeling anything in that house, if they've moved out and they've left that lovely black thing around with red eyes, if they've moved out, then, and you're not sensing it, you've got nothing to fear. If anyone else has ever come in and said they feel uncomfortable, then there's the time maybe. I mean, I'm going to be honest, a tall black thing with red eyes, yeah, it's our perception of what we think about. You talking about the Ouija. Yeah, I am sorry. I did go a little bit vaguely. I've got to be honest, Mr. P, I did feel someone was pulling me somewhere. And this is what I mean when you're not prepared, because you can get distracted. They're so quick to come in. And I'll tell you now, I've never done a Ouija. Well, I'm not saying I haven't been in a room with one, but I will not do a Ouija board. I don't believe in it. I don't understand it. I'm too impatient. I haven't got time for someone to spell something out. Just get the spirit to come down and talk to you. I haven't got time for them to spell out who they are, who they want to talk to. If they come in the room and talk to a medium, they're going to tell you quite quickly. they're not angel boards in my eyes with all this fluffy angel board stuff. They are Ouija boards. They are always going to be Ouija boards, and they should not be dabbled with. I can't believe one of the local shops at Halloween last year, and we're coming up for it again, was selling it for £1. It is not a joke. Seances, again, I feel very strongly about that. You start connecting and holding hands. You don't even need to hold hands for a seance either. It's just they believe it's stronger. You start doing that and you don't know what you're bringing in. You haven't got the control to bring it, to send it back. Then you are messing with the wrong kind of energy. It is the darker side of any spiritual stuff. That is why witchcraft and black magic and all that did have such bad reputation. But not everyone that worked spiritually worked in that way. It's just the darker side, and we've always got a darker side to everything. So the throat chakra is almost telling to me, I want to regurgitate something. I want to bring it back up and clear it out. I would have a conversation with the boys and I don't know why I've just called them boys either, so I don't know if they're all boys, but and just say, did you do anything like that? Because what they would have thought they'd seen is actually a focus of their imagination. That doesn't mean they didn't see or sense something, but the way they've described it is how they perceived it. It doesn't necessarily mean it looks like that. And red eyes, I mean, you could take a picture and have red eyes in it. It doesn't always mean it's the devil, because I know that's most of the routes people are going down, demons and devils. No, I have not come across one, if anyone's thinking that now. I have not personally felt one around me. I have not been in a room with one around me. I have been in a room with negative energy, very negative, trapped energy from a spirit, and a spirit that passed and didn't settle. I have had visions of a devil-like figure visit me in my dream state, but actually he had more fear of me than I did him, which I found quite comical. So I'm not saying that they're not around. I'm just saying how I work. I like to think we only bring in the good and we only work with the good. So I hope that helps, Alison. But get someone to speak up and tell you what they've been doing in the past, and if it's not bothering you, dismiss it, because they can't. If it's not bothering you, they're not even going to get through to you. If it is negative, they only prey on somebody that maybe would struggle with that. So I hope that helps. And I'm sorry I was a bit vague, and I'm sorry I had a complete memory lapse. That's quite worrying, because in a minute I'll probably start trancing everybody, and I'll probably bring Alison's activity figure in. No. And that's something else as well. People think that spirits stay in one place. They do not. Energy is energy. It goes everywhere. If it's something in the house, it's something that's been in the house as an energetic field, and it's like a replay. Spirit can travel anywhere. So if you moved home, then they're going to move with you. If it's a loved one, people underestimate spirit. I think they think if they died in a house, they're going to stay in the house. No, because they're a spirit. They've gone to their soul state. They're going to go wherever you are. They're going to visit you wherever you are. If you're thinking of moving because of it, but you love your house, I'm going to say no. Don't do it. Tell those children off. But we've all had them, because my brother used to do it. So we all know how naughty teenagers are. But yeah, sorry. But I hope that helps, Alison. And we're moving on to the next one before I waffle anymore. Okay, Mr. P's coming on for a little chat.
Hi everybody, Richard here. I hope you're doing well. Just to let everybody know, if anybody on Facebook or YouTube comes on pretending to be a member of SBTV offering you readings, or come on at any point offering you readings, they are trolls. SBTV, its admin and the readers will never ask you for a private reading. If this happens, please block people and ban them. We will do our utmost to ban these people and delete any messages as quickly as we possibly can. As you're aware, it's out of our hands, and we do try our best. So if anybody does come and ask you, just block them and ban them. They are trolls, they are liars, and they will scam you out of any money they possibly can. They are liars, and they're not spiritual people at all, and they are not welcome on SBTV. Before I hand you back to Jane, I'm going to give you some messages. I've always wanted to say that. I want to say, pass you back to the studio.
Oh, bless Mr. P. Don't normally interrupt me. Just shouts in my ear roll. All right. Okay.
You're watching Jane Morton. We are broadcasting to Facebook and YouTube. The show will continue after these short announcements. Tomorrow night from 8 p.m, we have our Live with Spirit show, where we invite different guests each week to offer free readings to our viewers. Thursday night from 8 p.m, we have Rachel Galbraith, who will be offering palmistry and oracle card readings. For more information on our broadcasts, schedule, and information about the presenters, please visit our website. That's it for all the announcements. I'll pass you back to Jane. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Oh, thank you for coming back. I've never had Mr. P do a broadcast in the middle of me. He usually tells me off afterwards. I must stop trolling when I'm on the show. Oh, I do find it, I have to say, I do find it entertaining. I mean, I don't know, are they real psychic mediums, or are they just trolls? Who cares? If people want to come and see me, they're going to come and see me. Same as all the other hosts. If people want to try and disrupt us, feel free. I'm a great believer, as I've just said to Alison. I only work in a good intent. So I only work and hope that I contact and see good spirit. And that's the same for anyone that tries to disrupt me, upset me, or do anything else. I have no interest, because I will just keep going on and keep smiling, especially now I've put diesel in my car. Hi, my lovely Polly, my co-presenter for the Sunday Sofa. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Heidi. Seems like lots of people are struggling at the moment, Jane. I find something positive to make me smile every day. What's your advice? The same, Heidi. Obviously, you know, some of you know, I put a little post up on SPTV the other day because I'd had quite a big break off my shows. That doesn't mean I wasn't trying to interact with everybody, but obviously trying to work my own, working as a self-employed therapist and reader, and working for the NHS, life has been a little bit busy, and one's a little bit too old to be trying to burn the candle at both ends. But I do try and interact as much as possible, and I do try and share everything for people, because I want our family to stay positive. I was quite shocked myself when I had to isolate the other week, so I had more time to come on shows, watch shows, jump on the Zoom meetings. I was quite shocked at some of the negative comments, and I don't mean to the host, because we are all big enough and ugly enough to look after ourselves. The negative comments to other people in when we're live or in the chats, and how worrying some of the comments were. So I put up a post because it was playing on my mind, because that's the sort of person I am. And I just wanted people to be positive, and that's what I said there, Heidi. One, just find something to make you smile. That's all you've got to do. And it could be something so simple. You could see a flower bloom, or you could see a child do something cute with their mum if you're out and about, or your own child or your own grandchild. Just something really small. I mean, I've got a dog. He's absolutely nutty, but he does the strangest things. And when he tilts his head and looks like he's talking to me like that, it's that sort of thing. It is the most smallest of things that can make us smile and realise there is something worth getting up for every day, and there is something worth keep going for every day. But I also get, not everyone can do that. Not everyone has the strength to do that, and that's where it's trying to bridge that gap. But you're right, there are a lot of people struggling at the moment. It's almost like it wasn't the lockdown year that did it. It was the aftermath of coming out of lockdown that's done it. It's like people have had all their energy drained, physically, mentally. People don't know what to do with themselves. They've lost their sort of well-being. They've lost their self-awareness. They feel like locked. They don't know where to go next. And I just think that whole energy has just literally died, just sort of gone at a bit of a plateau at the moment. But that said, us spiritual people have got to stay positive, and we've just got to hope and stay collective, and just keep staying positive and keep lifting everybody up, especially on SPTV. That's what we're all here for, and just hope that everyone will come out the other side. That's what I say, Heidi. And I've met you personally, which was a pleasure. So you're quite a bubbly, friendly, helpful person. So sorry that if any, if you're feeling that as well, but you, like all of us, will get through it. And when you come and see us next month live on location, we'll cheer each other up. How about that? So there's my advice, the same advice as yours, Heidi. Yep, Mr. P said, yep. And anyone out there that I don't want to harp on about it yesterday, got quite a serious show yesterday, but anyone out there that feels alone, feels they don't know what to do, then go on SPTV. You can stay in the background. You don't have to comment. You can just listen. You can just watch. You can just find some comfort in something. You can join the Zooms. You don't have to put your face on there. You can just put your camera off. But do something positive. Speak to somebody. Don't suffer in silence is what I'd say as well. Natasha, will I have courage visiting my daughter? It's been 9 years. Natasha, I think I've just had deja vu right across. I've just literally got deja vu across my head. I think we've had this conversation, Natasha. Yeah, I think I've had this conversation. Well, I've just got deja vu. And I think if I remember rightly, you're in 2 different states in America, or she's in America, or you're in 2 different I want to say continents. I am absolutely rubbish with geography, but you haven't travelled due to again, I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to say this. There's a reason, health wise, I'm going to say, why you haven't travelled personally. It's you travelling, if I'm correct, I'm going to say, and I could be wrong, but I'm getting a bit of I'm getting an epiphany moment. I don't normally do this, actually. I will totally forget if I've spoken to someone or read for someone, but I'm getting some kind of recollection there. And I've just pulled you power, which is number 8, Mr. P. And that's, to me, is the power of your sort of belief, basically. You've got to trust yourself, and you've got to have the strength of that lion. That's half lion, half man. You've got to have the strength of that if you want to do something. No one can explain what's going on in someone's head. No one can explain why someone can't do something. It's only the person that's got to do it. It's their barrier they've got to overcome. No one can go, oh, come on, you can do this. You've got to overcome it. So there's no time frame, and there's no way around it. It's something you've got to do. But in a way, when you look at that card, it's having the strength, obviously, to make that step and go forward. But also, it is like you're having a battle with, I will do it and then I won't do it. Sometimes, and it's not to give in, because I'm getting this feeling that I said, why doesn't your daughter come to you? Sometimes, if it's acceptable now that you're just never going to have the courage to go, I'm getting like the yellow brick road when I'm saying that. I'm pulling the line as well. I am getting the yellow brick. It's like weird, the yellow brick road and all that. If you haven't got the courage to go, then sometimes it's best to accept that instead of putting this absolute stress around you, that you're just not going to do it. You're just never going to do it. It's not going to happen. Then accept you're never going to do it and find an alternative way around it, that she comes to you. She's in Tennessee, and I know that you in Canada, Natasha. Can't remember. You'll come up New York. I just feel this is. I'm going like this now. Like, then she has to come to you. You're going to have to accept you're not going to do it, because it'll just take the whole onus and the stress off you, because this whole constantly thinking about it's just churning it away. And then maybe if you just go, do you know what, I'm not going to do it. You never know, it might release something that one day you'll just get up and do it. But at the moment, there's too much pressure there. So it's got to be, she's going to have to come to you. And that's the only way forward, because you're just going round and round circles otherwise. So I hope that makes sense to you, Natasha. Stop beating yourself up over it, though. Hadley Rain. Firstly, thank you for taking the time, all of you at SPTV, to help others. Thank you, Hadley. My question is, have I made the correct decision in cutting certain people out of my life recently? I think anyone that has to make a decision to cut people out of their life, it's a tough one, because from the human aspect, we always want to see the good in people, or we try and see an alternative, or we always, especially us British, we always try and think that only we can make it better, or only we, we've got to be more tolerant. But there comes a time in everyone's life that you will cut ties with people. They may cut it with you, and that can break our hearts or upset us and think why, or we may do it with them. But either side is not going to be easy. It is not an easy decision to make, and there will always be doubts, because that's how our mind works. Because in an ideal world, we want to love everyone, we want to like everyone, we want everyone to be happy and feel safe. But it doesn't work like that, because there's peaks and flows. Basically, it's a bit like we were saying earlier with the empathic and feeling depression. You will have times when your vibration's high, but others won't be, and they will struggle with where you are. And there will be times that your vibration is low and others will be higher than you. You may struggle with why they seem to be getting on with life and you're not, and they might be struggling why you're not getting on with it. If we all walked around on the same vibrational sort of level, it would be lovely to a degree, but it would also probably be a little bit boring for us in our human existence. So we have to accept that no one's energy at one time is the same way. It's not submitting out the same frequency, and that is why we cut or move away from people, because it is like lessons. People will be in our lives for reasons. There will always be a reason someone enters our life, forever how short or however long that is, but they are there for a reason. And then we have to decide, really, when it's not healthy for us to be around these people no more, or they're not beneficial to us. Ironically, I've just picked you number 2 again, movement, choices and decisions. To cut people out was a movement forward that you had to make. It was a choice you had to make, and there's obviously around that decision, although you're having doubt, it was the right thing to do, because you wouldn't have gone that far. We all often do things hastily. We make decisions can make snap decisions. We can say things in an abrupt way and without thinking it through. That's when you will overthink and actually decide whether you could have reacted differently or done something differently. And there's no reason then that you can't take a track back, make an apology, or try and amend and actually work through that. But when it comes to the end of the road, as I put it, where it seems that you've been doing more of the giving and they've done more of the taking, and you're not getting anything back from it, the cutting people out is for your better. It's for your better good. It's not for theirs, it's for yours. Actually, in some ways it will affect them and make them learn lessons too, but it is for your benefit. So I hope that makes sense, Hadley. Don't question what you've done. If it's made you feel better in yourself, and it is a hard one, because we have this weight where we're going, oh, why don't they want to be with me, or why don't they want to talk to me, or why don't they want to be my friend, or blah blah blah, why are they being so mean to me? You'll have those experiences, but also there'll be an area around you where you notice you feel lighter. You don't feel like someone's on your shoulders. You don't feel bogged down. They're not in your brain constantly overthinking how they're behaving. They're in your brain more because you're thinking, have I done the right thing, like you've asked? But you will feel your body will be lighter, and that's when you know you've done the right thing. From personal experience, since I've done my spiritual journey, I've had many people look at me differently, treat me differently. Close friends, and it was quite upsetting at the time. And more recently, since my accident last year, I've had people treat me quite badly, which I never thought would happen. And then I've overthought it and thought, did I do something wrong? And then I just realised actually that actually in certain areas I was feeling quite drained from it all. And although I didn't understand it, I actually feel better in myself now. So if you feel lighter and you've got more time to enjoy other things, you know you've done the right thing. So I hope that makes sense, Hadley, and much love to you. But that card says it all. Movement, choice and decisions. You had to move forward. So that's what you did. And there we have it, people. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Sorry if we went a bit vague. Interference, and then Mr. P coming in with it's like a broadcast announcement, isn't it? On ITV. Breaking news. breaking news, the producer's going live. Yeah, you should, shouldn't you? Yeah, breaking news, the producer needs to talk to you. But yeah, thank you for joining me. If you are new, please do like and share. We want to reach the 12,000. Maybe we've already done it, Mr. P. Maybe we didn't do it. We need 2 more people. If the only 2 people followed us during my show. Come on, people, if you're still on it, go and like and follow SPTV on Facebook. Go over to YouTube. Go over to our page and become a member. Come on, do it. You won't believe what you get for your money's worth on here. You really wouldn't. And if you didn't want to do that, but still want to tune in, then please do. We're not going to hold it against you. But thank you for welcoming me back. I will be back monthly now to any of my regulars. I will only be back monthly. I'm not going away completely, but I will be back monthly. But that said, I will be back Sunday for the Sunday Sofa. So you're not getting rid of me this week. So thank you, everybody. And much love to you all. Oh. And this Saturday night, we are broadcasting live on location for a paranormal investigation. And who's that with, Mr. P? Oh, with our lovely Polly. Okay, then. So, yeah, tune into that live on location. Goodbye, everybody. And I will see you on Sunday on the Sunday Sofa. Please come and join me and Polly. Take care. Bye.